The Chiefs plan for a critical NFL draft, and we're going to give our first Chiefs mock draft of 2026. Let's freaking go. Chiefs Kingdom, NFL fans worldwide, how we doing, everybody? How's everybody doing? We're going to talk some Chiefs draft today. It's coming up quickly, and we're going to give our first mock drafts that we think the Chiefs are going to pull off here at the end of April. But before we get started, you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button. Get this out to more people. Get in the chat. Talk it up. And watch this DraftKings ad.
In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, we're bringing you an amazing offer. Football may be in full off-season mode, but with tournament basketball right around the corner, you can stay in on the action and use your bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Right now, for new customers, you can download the DraftKings app, bet $5, and get 200 in bonus bets instantly. Just sign up using promo code ACU. With DraftKings, the crown is yours.
That's right, y'all. If you don't have DraftKings, download that bad boy. Use the promo code ACU when you're signing up so you let them know that we sent you their way. Guys, we understand that Kansas is playing college basketball right now in the freaking, for the Sweet 16? Is that what it is? But St. John's was whooping that butt in the first half, so I thought maybe some of you guys would want to come over here and talk about football instead. But you'll have to let us know how it goes because I turned it off. I'm not watching it no more, so keep us updated. But, yeah, we're going to get into this, man. Mike, let's get right into it. We're going to do our first Chiefs mock draft of 2026 where we say what we think the Chiefs are going to do. And obviously this is the first one. If you guys have been around this channel for a little while, you know we'll probably tweak this thing 2 or 3 times and have a final one right before the actual draft. But we're gonna do this today and get our first one out there in the ether. Mike, how do you like it?
Yeah, I think it was a good exercise to go through and see what we had going. The first person I took was I took Ruben Bain and actually moved up to take him. We're just going to throw it all on the screen here. You can look through it. I'm sure everybody's going to turn off the stream now. This is how people, they'll just go through and read it really quick. Ruben Bain, number 1, number 7. I had us trading up and giving up 109 to move up to take him. I think if it's anywhere close, you've got to get somebody right there that's a really good pass rusher. And I think Ruben Bain's probably the best one on the board for Spags. Round 2, I traded off 29. I let the Jets get back into the first round in my mock draft and let them come get Simpson out of Alabama. So I was like, look, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just move back to 33, and I grabbed Brandon Cisse at 33. At number 40, I took Max Ahanichor, offensive tackle out of Arizona State. I think he's a pretty good fit. He's raw, but I think it's something that he's got good movement, can get to the second level. I would like him as a nice piece moving forward on the right side. Keontae Scott at round 3, pick 73, I thought was a really good fit with our secondary being depleted. Keontae Scott can do a lot of things for you. Right now, I have him as my number 7 overall. And honestly, I can maybe move him above A.J. Halsey from LSU. I kind of like him just as good. I think the only reason he's a little further down for me is he's 25. Again, I'm not worried about these older 25-year-olds. Brett Veach isn't going to sign these corners to a second-year deal anyway. It does not matter. You're going to get him for 4 years, and you're going to like it, and he's going to be able to cover the slot, and it's going to be great. I really like what he brings. Round 4, pick 103, I got Dejon Stribling out of Ole Miss. This is a guy I watched really late in the process, and I've still got him like ranked super high right now. He didn't crack my top 10 by any means, but he's right outside. He's the number 12th wide receiver at 6'2", 207. Look, I think he can give you possessions. I think he can also blaze after the catch. I think he gives you a lot of yak ability. He ran a 4.36 and had a 12-foot 7-inch broad jump. So he shows plenty of explosiveness. And at 6'2", 207, I think he also gives us that X wide receiver we've missed, be it Justin Watson, be it MVS, whatever. At round 4, I had us coming up with Green Bay, giving up 148 and 176 to take Dallin Bentley, tight end out of Utah. I think the Chiefs have to address the tight end. I think Dallin Bentley, if he were to get the 120, which I've got him somewhere around the 100 to 110 mark, you never know how that's going to go. So in my mock draft, though, he did fall a little bit. So Dallin Bentley is who I come up to grab. And then, of course, rounding out round 5 and round 6, I took Anthony Lucas, defensive end at USC, who we've also met at some of the bowl games. And I think we talked to him as well at the Combine. And then round 6, Jack Kelly out of BYU. I think he's a good replacement to take over for a little bit of what Leo Chenal is going to leave behind here in Kansas City as he went to the Commanders. So that's how I got it rolling. I think that was a pretty solid first effort. I would be very happy with this. I think a lot of people, if you could pick it apart, you maybe don't like that we just come away with Deshaun Stribling only at wide receiver. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe people wanted 2 wide receivers, or maybe they wanted something a little bit better than Deshaun Stribling. But honestly, I don't know if receiver is important. But I think we've got to have some corner and some pass rush. You can maybe, throw around the Max Ahanachour route, like pick 40. You can maybe switch it out there. But honestly, I think Max Ahanachour at 40 would be a steal.
I really like how you built this draft, and I do think it's pretty possible the Chiefs could go that route. I mean, you have to think they need defensive end, and Brett Veach just come out and said premium defensive ends, top 40. You have to get them in the top 40. You're not getting one. I think if they're focused on that, they do go up and try to get Ruben Bain. And a lot of people in the chat are like, I'd rather have David Bailey. David Bailey's better. He has T-Rex arms. We know all the knocks on Ruben Bain, but when it comes down to it, Ruben Bain is the best pass rusher in this class. He just is. And especially in a Chiefs defense, because let's be honest here, David Bailey's great. I think he's awesome, but just the way that he plays, I don't see him fitting in Spags' defense. And there's a good chance that you're going to draft a guy in the first round, trade up to draft a guy in the first round that just never fits in and never gets used, much like Joshua Uche. You know what I'm saying? So I think that obviously Ruben Bain makes the most sense there. I also like that you attacked right tackle there, Max Ionacher. I love that kid. I think that would be awesome. And, of course, you hit in the secondary with Brandon Cisse, Keontae Scott. So I really like that. You also touched on tight end with Dallin Bentley. I think me and you are on the same wavelength as far as what we think the Chiefs need to address in this draft. And I know it's not a big secret. Everybody knows that. But there's different ways to skin a cat, man. And I like the way that you did yours. I'll go ahead and jump into mine here real quick. We'll knock that out, and then we'll just have a good old discussion with the chat about all of it. But up first in round 1, I had the Chiefs sitting at 9 and taking Kenyon Sadiq, tight end from Oregon. My thing with Sadiq is he's a generational athlete, and I think that you have to replace Travis Kelce. A lot of people are going to say this is a reach on a tight end. I don't think it is for him. I mean, like Mike's mentioned a lot of times, last season, you saw Colston Loveland and Tyler Warren go very early. So there's a premium on these guys. Of course, Sadiq's arguably the most explosive athlete at tight end ever. I mean, the kid's off the chain with the 4.39 40 and a 43.5-inch vertical. He's an elite vertical threat, destroys man coverage in the seams, and surprisingly effective as a physical run blocker. If he's got any weaknesses, his drop rate was around 7.9%, so I think a lot of people don't like that. But, I mean, hey, we've had Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce's prone to dropping things from time to time, but that upside is far more than what happens there. I think as far as the Chiefs fit, dude, it's the perfect move for them. They go out and they get somebody that can come in and take over the reins at tight end there, and they just get it right off the rip. No beating around the bush here. Just take him right off the rip, get him before he goes. And I think Kenyon Sadiq in round 1 at 9. Round 1, 29, I have him taking defensive insider Caleb Banks. This kid's a monster. He models his game after Chris Jones. He claims he might be better at the pro level than Chris Jones, which is a bold claim. But like Mike said before, you got to love that tenacity, that confidence. Caleb Banks, dude, he's just a big dude. Like if you look at how he stands, he's 6'6", 330 pounds. He's a complete disruptor inside. He could be a boomer bust pick, a lot of people think, because he's had a lot of foot injuries, right? But he's got rare twitch and lateral agility for a 330-pounder. He's got real powerful grip and ability to anchor against double teams. He can eat double teams. It's going to help Chris Jones in the middle. And he can also, get some penetration there. He's not known for his pass rush ability. He's pretty much been a run stuffer. But I do think that he could help Chris Jones do what he's got to do in there and get some pressure on the quarterbacks. He's a Chiefs fit, Mike. Just because, like I said, he can go beside Chris Jones. He has the ability to play in multiple fronts, 4-3, 3-4, so he's a versatile piece, and Spags likes that kind of stuff, man. I think they addressed the edge rusher at round 2, pick 40, with Gabe Akis. Mike, I know you like Gabe Akis. I kind of went back and forth on him or Zion Young right here. Is that his name, from Missouri? I ended up settling on Gabe Akis. I like what this kid brings to the table, dude. He's 270 pounds. Power end is what they call him. His production kind of exploded in his final 2 seasons at Illinois. He's got ridiculous power, great straight line speed to the QB, and he sets a very strong edge against the run, which Spags is going to love. If he lacks anything, Mike, it's maybe his length for being 6'3". He struggles with some sudden change of direction or lateral stunts. But I think he fits. He's got that George Karlaftis mold, high motor, heavy-handed, technically sound, and I think he's actually a little bit more explosive than Karlaftis when I watch his tape. So I like that there. I think they addressed the wide receiver position in round 3 at 74. Zach Branch, wide receiver from Georgia. I know a lot of you guys are probably like, we got to get a receiver higher than this. But this guy falls right into the wheelhouse of Andy Reid and Brett Veach. I mean, this kid's just fast, and he's a good receiver. He's a good route runner. Former USC guy, went to Georgia. He's kind of a human highlight reel if you go watch his tape. They made sure to get him the ball in Georgia, and I feel like he'd kind of fall into the wheelhouse of, say, a McCole Hardman or something like that, not just because he's a Georgia receiver, but because he's a guy that you want to manufacture touches for. Like, he's that kind of athlete. He thrives on screens and quick hitters and stuff like that. World-class speed, elite vision, can return if you want to get to special teams. 80% of the yards come after the catch, so he's a yak guy. The Chiefs love that. He's a bit small, though, so if we start talking about weaknesses, he's 5'10", 180. His route tree is limited. What he does run, he runs well, but he could definitely use some more in the route tree there. Mostly restricted to the slot or gadget roles, which is something that the Chiefs kind of pigeonhole themselves to a little more than I would like sometimes. But this pick right here wouldn't surprise me at all. I think he's right up their alley. Round 4, 109, I have them taking Genesis Smith, the safety from Arizona. This is another guy that Mike likes. But the Chiefs have met with Genesis Smith. He's a long-framed, high-energy safety who's at his best when he's playing downhill. His strengths, he had a 42.5-inch vertical and great instincts when reading the QB's eyes in the middle of the field. This is a guy that can come in and kind of get back there with Alohi Gilman now. And I think that he could kind of eventually take over that role that Brian Cook was doing. So this would be like a play for the future, but it also helped right off the rip because, I mean, we're a little weak at secondary. He's a little bit of a liability as a tackler at times. He misses quite a bit. He has poor pursuit angles, and he's inconsistent with wrapping up. That's his biggest problem. If they can get that knocked out, I think this kid is solid across the board. And, of course, he fits with Brian Cook parting ways with the Chiefs. And he can kind of be a rotational big nickel if they really wanted to do that. I mean, they like to do it with Chamari Connor, and that didn't work out. I think this kid would be better at it. I think they continue to address the secondary in round 5 at 148 with Charles Demings, cornerback from Stephen F. Austin. Yet another one that Mike's been preaching about. This kid, he could be a late round steal. Like, he's kind of like the small school gem of this draft class. He's kind of a late bloomer. He didn't play football until his senior year of high school. But since then, he's become an All-American. Record-breaking 9.97 RAS score, 6'2", elite ball hawking, 35 career passes defended. If I had any knocks on Charles Demings, Mike, it's just the level of competition being at Stephen F. Austin. He's real raw in his technique and press, and he can struggle against the shiftier, smaller receivers who stack him early. And I think he has a little bit of trouble with that, but that's nothing that can't be coached into him. We have great secondary coaches as far as Dave Merritt and Spags. They always get these guys late and really get them to where they need to be. He's an excellent developmental prospect for day one. Special teams value is what a lot of people are saying, but obviously he's going to be later in this draft. He fits the Chiefs' history of finding high athleticism secondary from non-Power 5 schools. I think they continue to hit on that secondary because there's a big hole there. Round 5, 152. I had them trading up via Dallas, not via Dallas. But they're going to trade pick 169 and a round 6 pick from 2027 to get up there and grab Ephesians Prysock, cornerback from Washington. This kid would be – he's like the typical Spags cornerback. He's that long, kind of rare length. He's almost 6'4". And he's kind of – everybody said he was a little slow, but he kind of hushed them all up with a 4.46 40-yard dash. So I think those can those concerns about speed can go out the window. But fluid hips for a tall corner, aggressive in run support, uses his massive wingspan to squeeze throwing windows. His only weakness that I saw, Mike, when I was watching his tape, he's pretty penalty prone, and he can get fooled by double moves a lot. So, but here's the thing. He would be the guy that comes in here and filled the Jalen Watson role. And I think that when you have guys like that, like Jalen Watson or even Ephesians Pricelock, you go back to L'Jarius Sneed, all those guys that fit this mold, they get a lot of penalties. They just do. That's the way they play. They're physical, they're handsy, and they're going to get called for penalties. But I really like Pricelock, especially at this value here. And I think that those three guys I just mentioned, Genesis Smith, Charles Deming, and Ephesians Pricelock, could kind of eliminate that hole we have in the secondary right now. And with some young guys that are going to be around for a while. Okay, and then in round 5, I had them going ahead and trading up with pick 176, pick 210, and a round 7 from 2028 to get up there and grab Isaiah World, tackle from Oregon. So Isaiah World, he had a big-time knee injury at the end of his, I think it was his freshman season. Was he playing with like Nevada or somebody before Oregon? I can't remember. But he was he was really good. He just dominated people. But then he got that knee injury, right? I think it was an ACL. So he's coming back off that. When he came back to Oregon, they brought him back a little slow. This kid has all the intangibles. He's a freaking monster, dude. He's 6'8", 318 pounds. So he's a mammoth. And yeah, it was Nevada that he was at first. Back in 2025, he got that knee injury. But the thing about it is, dude, just a huge guy, heavy hands. He can wash out pass rushers, and he's got a super quick first step for his size. So he's a little raw, but I feel like he's a day 2 or 3 stash prospect. So if the Chiefs want like a high ceiling project guy that can eventually replace a veteran tackle here in a year or two, I think World has all the physical tools, especially if he clears those medicals. And maybe this could end up being the guy over on the right side of the offensive line going forward after this season. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it, Mike. How do you think I did?
You sold that pretty well. I mean, you talked a lot there. You said to be quick about it, and I just ran right through mine.
I thought I went the same. Did I go longer than you?
Oh, my God. Probably about 10, 15 minutes. But I will say this. I'm glad you did that because you talked about a lot of the players I liked as well. Here's what I'll say. Let me bring yours back up and look through it. A lot of people's going to say the Kenyon Sadiq's just too hot, number 9. Look, I don't know. I feel like people at this point just think they know how drafts go, and if you take Kenyon Sadiq at number 9, it's just bad no matter what. Like, you know, everybody says it's bad, I say it's bad kind of thing. I think you can't really look at that. If you think Kenyon Sadiq's a top 10 player in this draft, and yes, he does a favor comparably to Brock Bowers when it comes to his athleticism, everything he does, yes, they ran an entire offense through Brock Bowers in Georgia, and Kenyon Sadiq was not the entire offense there for Will Stein. So do they compare? I mean, you know, in their last year in 2023 in Georgia, he had 56 receptions, 700 yards, and 6 touchdowns. And Sadiq this past year had 51 catches for 560 and 8 touchdowns. So it was pretty similar. Now, he did have to he ended up having some kind of a knee surgery or ankle surgery, foot surgery, something like that. It is what it is. But Caleb Banks, the foot, if you feel okay about the foot, I think he's fine at 29. I really love the Gabe Akers pick. Zach Branch, I love Zach Branch. I don't know if I want the Chiefs to take another smaller receiver there at 74.
I don't condone this, by the way. I wouldn't go that route, but I feel like that's might be what they do.
Right, and that's why I took Dejon Stribling. I thought maybe you can get the best of both worlds there with Stribling. He's a little bit of an X, but he also can, to me, Stribling plays more along the lines of a Chris Bell. Chris Bell's a little more physical, but Chris Bell's more of that prototype X, and you don't have the injury there with Stribling. Other than that, though, I really like the Genesis Smith pick, Charles Demings. I think Charles Demings is going to work himself up into 3rd or 4th round. I think when it's all said and done, he's going to get in the 3rd or 4th round.
He's flying up the boards right now.
Yeah, he's coming up. Ephesians Pricelock's fine. I don't mind him. I think he's got pretty good film. He's a bit tall, 6'4".
He's a spagsy dude.
People has loved the emergence of the like 6'4" wide receiver because of the entire Seattle Seahawks thing like a few years ago, but I don't know if the Chiefs have ever had a guy that tall.
You talking about corners?
Like corner, but I just don't know if we've ever had a corner at 6'4". Spags tends to go around, 5'11" to 6'1" tops.
Well, how tall was Sneed?
Sneed, I'm not 100% sure. Sneed.
I was thinking he was like 6'3". Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know how tall he was. He did play safety a little bit.
No, he's only 6'1". He's only 6'1".
That's what I'm saying. It seems like we always got those big guys, but I don't know if we ever do. But the Isaiah Worldpeck, I really like him. If he falls to, whatever. Does that help us this year? I don't know because he got injured so late in the year, but he's a good piece to put on there. But I really like that mock draft. I would be fine with either of those. I'm sure you pick the more crowd-pleasing picks.
I don't know, man. I think people like yours better. Should we put a poll up and see which way they would rather the team go?
There's a lot of hate for Ruben Bain in the top 10. I don't know where that's came from.
We put a poll up. We'll see which one people like better.
I think Ruben Bain, and honestly, compared to David Bailey, he's a head and shoulders favorable by setting the edge and in the run game. Like, he is one of the best run defenders, if not the best run defender in this class. I think he's a guy that gets anywhere between 5 to 10 sacks per year. Bailey is a guy that he's not going to offer you much in the run game. He's not going to set the edge. I don't think he's even as explosive as Ruben Bain sometimes off the edge. I feel like you may think I'm crazy, but I think I see more explosiveness out of Ruben Bain sometimes. It's a very weird thing to say because it's hard to back that up. But
it's a different kind of explosiveness.
Right. It's something different I see, but he is very explosive to certain spots. So I don't know. It is what it is. People's got their certain taste, and it is. But
dude, just run yours down real quick again. Just real quick. I'm gonna grab these two from Fred. He's got a 2-bomb. Says we couldn't Sadiq. I'm not sure what he's trying to say there, but maybe he's saying shouldn't go Sadiq that high. I'm not for sure. You have to clarify that for us, Fred. Appreciate the 2, brother. And then he said we need Bain with the 2-bomb. Appreciate you, Fred. Thanks so much. But Mike, pull yours up. Just run through it. So first round, Ruben Bain. Second round, Brandon Cisse. Round 2, also Max Ionature. Round 3, got Keontae Scott. Round 4, Dazon Stribling. Round 4, Dallin Bentley. Round 5, Anthony Lucas. And round 6, Jack Kelly. And then if you want to pull mine up real quick, I'll run through that. And then I want everybody to vote in the chat. I want to see which way they'd rather the Chiefs lean. Because of mine, I had round 1, Kenyon Sadiq, round 1, Caleb Banks, round 2, Gabe Backus, round 3, Zach Branch, round 4, Genesis Smith, round 5, Charles Demmings, round 5, Ephesians Prysock, and round 5, Isaiah World. Which way would you rather the Chiefs lean there?
I think if you could mix the two, I would be very happy. I think I would prefer Bain over Sadiq if that were the... But I also traded up 2 picks to take Bain.
Yeah, you're going to have to trade up for Ruben Bain.
Yeah, I think you got to trade up to take him.
100%.
And so if you set at 9, you could run into a scenario where you have to take either Kenyon Sadiq. And if nobody wants to come out of that pick, what do you do?
That's my thing. That's what I was like. If we sit at 9, because I think, so Fred's totally with me too, with the 2-bomb. He said we need Sadiq. Absolutely. I think it's a great player for the Chiefs. And the more, the more I did this exercise, Mike, I started looking at it and I'm like, dude, Ruben Bain could go number 2. Ruben Bain could go high.
It's very possible.
So, like, if you're trying to get Ruben Bain or David Bailey, you might have to trade him to the top 5.
Yeah, I don't even know if 7 was good enough.
And then you start talking about receivers, and it's like, look, I'm gonna be dead honest here, and maybe I'm crazy, but if Kenyon Sadiq and Carnell Tate are both sitting there at 9, I'm taking Kenyon Sadiq.
Oh wow, over
Tate. And here's why, dude. Let's go back. Just look at the Chiefs' offense, especially when they were high-flying offense, doing a lot. This thing ran through it. Travis Kelce was a catalyst of that offense.
It runs through a vertical stretch move tight end.
It does. So it's like, oh, we can get Carnell Tate over here, but is that really going to do anything for us? Like, it might, but it might not.
Doesn't the tight end, after like Bain and maybe 1 or 2 guys, it drops off more dramatically than the wide receiver room does?
Tight end?
Yeah, tight end drops off way more than wide receiver. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, tight end drops off. So, like, after Sadiq, there's a big gap compared to, say,
Eli Stowers even.
Carnell Tate down to, like, somebody you could get at 40.
Correct. And that's another thing. There's a couple different ways you could win about that because just, let's say, for instance, Omar Cooper Jr. does fall to 29. Maybe you take him instead of Caleb Banks.
Right.
So there's different ways you can go about it. But when I did it, I feel like Omar Cooper's going to go before that.
Yeah.
I don't see the Chiefs trading up for him because I don't even know if they have really met with him or care about him that much yet. I'm not for sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I know they like Caleb Banks. They've met with him multiple times. Now that foot thing's a little scary, but at the same time, the Chiefs, they don't tend to shy away from injury histories. I mean, just look at the last couple of drafts, dude.
Right.
So if they like a guy, I think they'll go get him. So that's kind of where I'm sitting with it.
Right. So look, Bain, he's the number 2 player on my big board. He's still top 2. I've got Caleb Downs at 1. I've moved him back to number 1. I think the knee thing's just wrong. But I've got Bain and then Love as my top 3. So Look, if I moved up to 7 to get Bain, I'm completely fine. I don't know. You may have to move up higher to get Ruben Bain, to be honest, when it's all said and done. You took Kenyon Sadiq, and right now he's number 11 on my big board. So, I mean, you got, well, you know.
Yeah, I think I had him at like 13, 14, but I mean,
you're right
still.
there in the wheelhouse. Like, you cannot afford to move down 5 picks. If Sadiq's your guy at 9, you just have to take him. Like, that's my point. Like, you can't trade back and be like, well, it's a little too early.
It's kind of similar to the Kyle Pitts thing. Now, not to that magnitude, because I think Kyle Pitts went in the top 5. But it's like one of those things. Like, you see a guy, or even Brock Bowers, for instance. You see a guy that's that much better than everybody else in that class. You see a guy that has that much upside, that much talent, and could be a big piece for an offense in the NFL. And it's like, if you got to go top 10, you got to go top 10. I mean, even the Bears tried it with Colston Loveland. But, I mean, I just think the tight end is kind of molded into an offense. Like, you almost have to get your head out of the 90s, bro. Because, like, tight end these days is more of an offensive weapon than it is I'm going to block for you. It just is. And I think it's still going that way. And because he can block. He's a good run blocker.
Not to mention, like, a lot of people want to compare him to Bowers. You got to remember Bowers. Sadiq is 6'3" and an eighth. So, basically, a little over 6'3". Brock Bowers is only 6'4". So, I mean, it's literally like, what, a thumbnail?
It's an
inch.
Then
Bowers weighed 243. Kenyon Sadiq weighed in at 241. They're the same size. So, like, when people keep saying, Sadiq's too small, can't play it. Well, he's the same size as Bowers. Bowers has a lot of potential. I'm not saying he's better than Bowers by any means, but he tested across the board better than Bowers did. So, if you have any stock in the metrics and the testing and how that projects at the next level, dude, he is very well could be a top 10. And actually, I've seen scouts are starting to say now that they do think he will slide into the top 10.
Right. Well, Fred carrying everybody today with another 2-bomb. Let's freaking go, Fred. Says we never take big receivers. It's true. We don't. Well, that's the thing about it. I mean, Kenyon Sadiq is a big receiver. Like, usually when we take big receivers, it's tight ends, right? It's Travis Kelce. We've had our big receiver. You know, like, and that's the thing about it, dude. It's just, I feel like Kenyon Sadiq is just as much of an offensive weapon as far as receiving goes as a lot of these receivers that are in the draft.
That dude, now, 78-inch wingspan and 32-inch arms with a 10-inch hand. You can put this guy on the edge. He runs a 4.41 or something like that.
Right. Now, I understand being a little bit scared of that pick because, I mean, Sadiq doesn't have the production to back it up, right? Like you said, he wasn't used properly really in Oregon.
Yeah, it's the scheme.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. I think if Kenyon Sadiq goes to the right team, and the Chiefs could be one of those right teams I'm talking about that actually use tight ends that way, he could be a monster.
He's just a matchup nightmare. I think it's a good one. But when I was coming back to maybe if you could mix these, where I took Brandon Cisse and you took Caleb Banks, maybe you don't take either one of those. Like maybe you have concerns of Banks being injured, maybe the foot, and maybe Cisse's not the guy you want. What if at 29 you was to take a guy like Christian Miller out of Georgia, like that big buff? That's what I'm saying. So, like, you can find middle ground here with that. Yes, absolutely. And then for me, Ihanachor at 40 was just pure value.
Love it. Love it.
And then you have at 40 Gabe Backus, which is one of my favorite pass rushers.
I had to hit on the edge because Brett Veach very clearly was like, I've got to get an edge in the top 40. And I didn't do that. So I was like, I got to take one here. And like I said, it was between Zion Young and Gabe Backus. I like Gabe Backus a little better.
Right. And then down the board, I took the corner higher. So you took Demings, which I really like. I do think Cisse's cap is a lot better than Demings. I will say that. But Demings is a still that late in the draft if you could get him. And then, of course, I think have you watched a lot of Stribling? Like, do you like him in comparison to Zach
I've seen this much. I've seen this much. You told me to go watch him a little bit more, but I have not.
Right. So right now I have Zach Branch as like my number 9, and I have Stribling as like my number 12. But honestly, I think they're closer than people think because they play 2 different styles. But at the end of our drafts, I mean, look, we're just picking up players on the back end to fill your roster. Anthony Lucas and Jack Kelly, I thought they were 2 good players. And then, of course, you put Prysock and World, who you addressed the tackle there. So,
World, I feel like World's a value pick at that point, right? It's like, if it wasn't for his injury, he could be a first, second round pick.
Yeah.
But
I think you also got an extra pick here because I traded one of mine away.
Yeah, I traded up
You
twice.
have 8.
Got rid of a couple.
And I picked 3, 6. No, I got 8 too. We both ended up with 8 somehow.
I don't see the Chiefs taking more than 8 players in this draft. Like, I'd be surprised if they take 8. So there's going to be a lot of movement.
Yeah. A lot of people think that we should be just move down and take 22 players.
It's very tough to predict where the movement's going to be, too, but there's going to be a lot of movement in this draft, I think.
Well, I feel like if you really want to go get those pass rushers, you're going to move in the top 10. Now, is it going to cost you a little bit? Yeah. Are people going to really work with you? I don't know.
If you want Banner Bailey, you got to go up.
But I think if you want those premier guys, you do have to move up from 9. You can't move back.
100%. Fred with the 5 bomb says, I so much agree. Appreciate you, Fred. Fred Carrion, baby. Fred Carrion. Y'all put some legendaries in the chat for Fred. I noticed this a couple times, and I don't necessarily agree with this, but I've seen it on a few mock drafts throughout just different guys, like draft gurus, you should say, or people like that, or insiders. I've seen Arvell Reese being there at 9 a couple times.
Right.
If he is, do the Chiefs entertain that as an edge rusher?
I mean, he's the same size as Bailey. I don't.
I think they would.
Because you would almost have to.
He's such a ridiculous athlete. Like, now you would be converting him a little bit because he's more of the 3-4 outside linebacker type. But if you could get him to stick his hand in the dirt, I think he could do it. Like, the dude's insane. Or he can even stand up on the edge over there.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, like I say, people don't like it. People want to move off of the Spags type, but Spags is here. They're not moving off the Spags type.
Yeah, that's why I think if they trade up, they go Ruben Bain.
That's why a lot of these mock drafts get into heart over head, and people just don't want certain things, or they're tired of certain things, so they get mad at you when you draft a certain way. And it's like, I'm drafting a certain way because of the way the Chiefs are. We didn't get rid of Andy. We didn't get rid of Spags. You didn't get rid of nobody. You know what I mean? Like, nothing's going to change with how they're drafting this, more than likely.
Yeah, I've seen a couple scenarios which I also don't agree with Jeremiah Love still being there at 9. If he is, I think it's one of two things. You take him off pure value, even though that's a bad idea after you just signed Walker, or you trade back.
Yeah, I think you trade back and take a haul.
Yeah, that's probably what ends up happening there. But yeah, let's look at this poll real quick. What did I do with it?
The poll.
The poll. So far, nobody's voted on the poll. That's not right. Hold on.
Not a single vote on the poll.
Not a single vote. Sure. Did I put it up? Did I post it?
Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to grab this.
Let's freaking go.
Gary in the house with 5 gifted. Appreciate you, Gary. Yeah, look, I don't mind either one of those mock drafts. At the end of the day, is it going to be something anywhere close to that? Probably not. I think a lot of people are really horned up over like Oscar Delp. He's been the story of the week last week just because he ran so fast there. A lot of people are saying maybe second round, and I'm thinking, I don't even have Oscar Delp in my top 100 right now. Like I mean, he's probably going to get there, but
no,
there's not a lot to watch on film.
No, and I've seen a lot of hype about Eli Raridan, and he's got 2 ACL tears, guys. He scares the crap out of me.
There's a lot of tight end there that's kind of weird. That's why I like Dallin Bentley where I got him. The Chiefs were at Utah's Pro Day. They did look at Dallin Bentley a little bit from what I heard. So I think he offers a lot. Look, there's a certain group of tight ends here that I just don't know. Like a lot of people like Tanner Kozioff from Houston. And when I watch him on film sometimes, it looks like he's in quicksand, dude.
Yeah, same. It's the same. Like, I think late rounder, I'm still a John Michael Gillenborg fan. And, you know, a lot of people say that he looks slow, but he's a big dude. But I don't know, man. He's so shifty. He just reminds me of Kels a little bit sometimes. The way he moves his upper body, the way he creates space and gets yak. I like him late in the draft. Now, obviously, I wouldn't reach too far on him, but I think he could be something. Mike, so far, let's see. I don't know if this is loading right, but right now it says 52% Steve, 48% Mike, so almost straight down the middle.
Yeah.
Almost straight down the middle.
I take offense to that.
Do you?
No. Look, I do think across the board, I think you had the sexier picks for what Chiefs Kingdom likes. I've seen Ephesians Prysock be a name that people love to throw out. I think I would have won the mock draft if in round 3 I would have took Mike Washington. I mean, there's just certain players
listen
up about.
Well, listen,
I just didn't do that.
I'll tell you this: where I took Zach Branch, I almost put in Mike Washington Jr.
And I mean, come on, if you do that, you're going to win. There's just certain players that you can throw around that people are going to love.
That's the thing. The only reason I didn't do it is because, like, I feel like. Could the Chiefs do that? Absolutely. I mean, they were at the Arkansas Pro Day checking them out. Kid's insane. The talent level's through the roof. The ceiling is so high you
Where were
can't
you
see
saying
it.
you were trying to put him in?
Round 4 where I took Zach Branch, or round 3
Oh,
where I
my
was,
bad. That was mine.
round 3 where
At
Zach Branch is
74?
at. Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible he could be there. I
That
really
might
think,
actually be round 4. Maybe I put round 3 and it was round 4. I don't know. Pick 74.
74 is round 3.
Is it? Okay.
So he could probably be there. I think that he could probably, he may. Now, unless somebody falls in love with him. But if Jadarian Price goes before him and maybe even Katron Allen, he could be at that round 4 109 pick. That sounds crazy, but I don't
If
think
he's
there's going to be a
there,
lot of running backs in this draft.
Dude, if he's there, then
taken.
you have to seriously consider that because you do have Kenneth Walker III under contract for 3 years. But let's just say a few things. Okay, so if you get that means you'll have Mike Washington for 4. Also, maybe there's a chance you get rid of Kenneth Walker before the third year of his contract.
Yeah, I think he's got an out at the 2.
And also injury history. I mean, I don't want to wish that on anybody, but if something were to happen there, you got somebody. And I don't know, dude. I think he's going to be a really special player.
You know, they split carries with Zach Charbonnet, so he's kind of a committee kind of guy anyway.
Has been, but I think he'll be even better as the bell cow.
Right.
I do. So I think it's a great pickup. Fred with another 5 bomb. Let's freaking go, Fred. He says we can't trade down pick 9. We have to use it to go up, not down. I tend to agree with you here, Fred. Let me tell you why. Like at one point when we didn't have a lot of draft capital, I was like, they need to trade back. That way Brett Veach could get something to play with. But
but he's got a lot now.
Now he's got plenty. Got plenty of draft capital. So at this point, they're not taking all them picks. There's no way in hell they're taking all them picks. So what do? You move up and get the guys that you want. So I'm absolutely with you, Fred. I think if they go up from pick 9, or if they move from pick 9, it needs to be up. Like, go get your guy. If you want Ruben Bain or you want David Bailey or you want whoever, go up there and get him.
Hey, at pick 9, I'm not trading down. I'm taking downs. That's what I'm doing. Downs over down.
Couldn't be mad at that either.
No, I think that would be a great pick. A lot of people ask us that. What would you guys take the safety? Absolutely. He's the number one player on my board.
If he's there, he's a top. I've been saying this a lot. There's 3 blue chippers in this draft, and I kind of wanted to put David Bailey there, but I just don't think he makes it. So I think there's 3. I think it's Ruben Bain. I think it's Jeremiah Love and Caleb Downs. Those are the 3 blue chippers. Too. So if one of those guys are there at 9, if 2 of the 3 are there at 9, you take them. If Jeremiah Love's there, you consider trading back and getting a haul. But I don't know if they need to. So I don't know. That one's a weird one for me. Because, like I said, they have plenty of draft capital to move around.
Could load up on 2027. That's a big draft.
That's true, too. Yeah, you keep saying it's going to be a better draft than this one.
Yeah, for sure.
Mike, we got Phil in the house. Phil McCamus.
Phil.
He says I say it right, so I'll stick with that.
Phil's running the roads out there, baby.
The freaking 20 bomb. Let's go. It says no days off for you guys. This road gets quiet without ACU.
Sorry,
Let's go, man. Hey, we did take a day off. Was it Thursday night? Like we were supposed to do a live stream, and somehow we ended up at a Chili's, and we were eating, and I was like eating ribs, and Mike's like eat whatever, and like we looked at each other and like, oh yeah, we're supposed to do a live stream tonight. Like we totally just like zoned out. But then we were like, you know what? Let's give it some breathing room. We'll be back. We'll be back Sunday.
Dude, when you're having Chili's, when you're having the triple dipper, I don't know if, football's crossing your mind there.
No, but I mean, content's getting ready to get real heavy with the draft coming up. I mean, we're a month outside of the draft, bro. So content's getting ready to get real heavy. We just now did our first prediction mock. We normally do 3 of those. So we'll have another one of those and then a final one. But right now, dude, I think it's cool where we're sitting. But appreciate the 20, Phil. Y'all put some legendaries in the chat for Phil, and be careful out there, my man. Let's go. We'll keep talking. You keep trucking. How about that? Let's go back to the poll. I feel like my poll, for some reason, this poll's stuck. Nope, Mike, you've took a lead now. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
You pulled back ahead. 53% Mike, 47% Steve. I wish there was a way they could see them at all times with the vote, but there's
I feel
not.
like it's just one of those things where it's like pick your poison. I think yours probably go over a little better. So for example, if we'd have both took Ruben Bain off the board, I think maybe people would have liked yours better. Like, for example, if we'd have both took Bain in round 1, I think
thought about
Kenyon Sadig's the one throwing yours off.
I thought about it.
I think a lot of people don't think he's worth that.
I very much considered trading up and getting Ruben Bain there and thinking that's what the Chiefs would do. But then, when I really I sat and thought about it for a while, and I kicked around a couple different ideas. But I was like, I honestly think that if they're there at 9 and those 2 edge rushers are gone, this is their dude.
I like Sadiq. I
Like
would be
this is
fine
their
with
dude.
it.
And Mike, we know they've been tracking him.
Yeah, they were at his pro day. They
There's
talked
pro
to
day.
him.
That's also why I went ahead and threw Isaiah World in there too, because the Chiefs like to do that. They'll go to a pro day and focus on a dude, but they'll find somebody over here they like late. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
They do that from time to time.
Dude,
So that was kind of my way of thinking there.
I thought at that pro day with Oregon too, Emmanuel Pregnon looks so good at guard.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Chiefs don't really need a guard. I thought Kingsley looked good last year, and we just signed Trey Smith to a crap ton of money.
Yeah.
But that kid right there was good. He
Yeah.
looked really good his pro day.
Mike, our boy Mickey Moonrock here says, when will we draft at 9 again? You got to get defensive end Bain while the price is manageable. So I like this way of thinking by Mickey because I don't plan on us picking at number 9 for a long time.
Hell no.
Okay, this was like this weird, like, just odd season. It just went completely terrible. It's like if anything could go wrong, it went wrong. I don't see this Chiefs team drafting in the top 10 for the foreseeable future, for the rest of Patrick Mahomes' career.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen. We never get a chance to get a premium edge rusher. We never do, ever.
For that amount of money you're going to pay, it's a steal.
That's what I'm saying. So I kind of like this way of thinking. Like, we're not going to be here very often. So when we are, take advantage of it and get one of those dudes.
Isn't that kind of why I say, look, if you got to trade up to 7 or 6, go get him? Because I would rather pay $33 million or $34 million to Ruben Bain as an edge rusher than to pay 31.5 to a running back at number 9. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Fred with another 2 says Bain from waist down is tree trunks, huge legs. I thought he was going somewhere else. I thought he was going to call him Chris Jones Jr.
Oh, no.
Fred? No,
Dude,
but
he's
no.
built like a fire hydrant.
He is, and people want to bring up the arm thing, dude. That's the first thing people want to bring up. Oh, T-Rex arms,
But
T-Rex
we all
arms.
know that. He's always had short arms. Surprise, surprise, he still destroys people.
He's been dominating with them short arms for quite a while. Dude, he's just different. Like, when you watch the tape, he's just different. Like, he wrecks games from the edge, bro. And he wrecked it at such a level in college that I think it's going to translate. I do. Now, he might not be as dominant, but I do think he's going to be contributing right off the rip. So
I think he's one of the best run defenders in football. So if anything, he sets the edge and stops the run at a high rate.
and he's still going to get after that quarterback.
Which is insane.
He's still
he
gonna
can't be no worse at getting after the quarterback than George Karlaftis. And people love Karlaftis here.
George gets a lot of pressure.
Exactly. And I think he's every bit as that good.
He's better. He's a better prospect than George was.
Yeah.
And to be honest, if you think about it, we kind of got George at a steal because I thought even in that draft, Mike,
He was supposed to go top 5.
Yeah, he would have been maybe at least top 10, and we got him at what, 30 or
Yeah, we picked
29,
him
something
late.
like that. I don't remember. But yeah, he kind of fell to us, so that was a steal.
Here's one today. Dane Brugler come out with a thing today. The other day, Steve said Jordan Tyson has tweaked his hammy and he's not going to work at his pro day again.
I saw that.
If he were to fall to pick 29, would you
You
take
take him.
that?
You take it.
What if you could honestly get Jordan Tyson
You
at
probably
pick
take
29?
it.
That's a top 10 pick. If you could pair Bain and Tyson as your top 2 picks,
That's
but
disgusting.
Then again, if he doesn't get if he don't get on the field, he becomes just an injury nightmare for his entire time.
It's a possibility, dude. But like that's the thing. Like if it was like you eliminate the injury history, the risk of injury, and Jordan Tyson's the best wide receiver in this draft class.
He's nasty.
End of story. Like that's the only thing holding him back. Do you end up with another Kadarius Toney situation where you got a guy that breaks his fingernail every 2 days and doesn't play? Absolutely, that's a possibility. But that I'd say at pick 29 though, that's rough. That'd be hard to pass on him.
Right. And see,
think
I
so.
did this mock afterward. So I started thinking, if he were to have fell to that, would I have traded out of 29 or would I
No.
have just taken him
You would have took him, and then you would have probably looked at somebody like D'Angelo Pons or
at pick 40? Yeah, I would have just
who else is always around that area?
Chris Johnson. San
Chris
Diego
Johnson.
State.
There you go. And
That was
they
probably
like
what
him.
I would have done.
Didn't they set up a top 30 with Chris Johnson?
Yeah, they just had one. So I would have probably took Tyson at 29, and people would have slayed me. But here's my thing. I don't care about injuries at pick 29. That's a free pick in a way. If he don't have injuries, that's a hell of a football player.
Yeah, dude. Like you might get a steal at 29 with him, or a dud. It's very volatile.
You know what's crazy though? Somebody had posted this the other day. They were like, he's missed X amount of games. I don't remember what it was. I don't want to say the exact number, but he missed, I think it was 27% of his games in college. So like out of 60-some games, he missed 27%. Did you know that Jalen Watson missed 22% of his games with the Chiefs, and he ended up getting that huge second
Jalen
contract?
Watson was always hurt, brother.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Jalen Watson was 22% of games missed. Jordan Tyson's only at 27. So that's only like maybe 5 more games. And it's like, you just seen that guy go from a 7th-round pick to getting paid. And it's like, that proves that like you can miss a lot of games and still be super impactful for a team. So, you know,
yeah, but at the rate that
crazy.
I don't know. It's scary.
It is pretty scary. I will say that. But
Let's just say this. What if you picked at pick 29, whatever, and Tyson was available, and no one took him for the next 3 or 4 picks? Do you take that pick 40 and package it up and come back up and grab him?
How crazy would it be if he just slipped the pick 40?
Dude, if
I think he would be at worst the first pick of the second day. Somebody would trade overnight to come up first pick.
I think so.
And take him.
It's just the ceiling's too high with him, dude. He's the best route runner in the class. End of story. But yeah, man. Real quick, just want to shout out Zarda Barbecue. Get over to Zarda if you're in the Blue Springs area or Lenexa. Get yourself something delicious to eat. Let them know All Chiefed Up sent you. Thanks for sponsoring our live stream. Also, DraftKings sponsoring tonight's live stream. Download DraftKings if you haven't. Use that promo code ACU when you're signing up. Let's freaking go. Thanks for being here, everybody. Do us a favor. Hit that like button if you haven't. Get in the comments if you're lurking. We'd like to hear what you have to say about all this. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. That'll help us out tremendously. We're trying to get our subs up to 100K ultimately. So help us grow. Help us grow. Hit that sub button. Share it out with your friends. Whatever you got to do. We'd appreciate that. Mike, real quick, I just want to touch on this one more time because I'm going to take this poll down at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So 7 Central, I'm taking the poll down. Real quick, in case you came in late, we did our first mock draft of what we think the Chiefs will do. Real quick, I'm going to show you Mike's. I'm going to show you mine, and I want you to vote in the poll. Okay, so Mike went with Ruben Bain, Brandon Cisse, Max Honecker, Keontae Scott, Dazon Stribling, Dallin Bentley, Anthony Lucas, and Jack Kelly. Get a good look at that. And then I said the Chiefs will go Kenyon Sadiq, Caleb Banks, Gabe Akis, Zach Branch, Genesis Smith, Charles Demmings, Ephesians Prysock, and Isaiah World. Get a good look at that. And go vote real quick. Pick which one you would like the Chiefs to do while I'm breaking things.
While you're breaking stuff. Steve, I think you picked the name. You picked the best name. Ephesians Prysock, I think
that name's ridiculous,
be the best name.
I was actually laughing about that to myself the other day because I saw a dude on Twitter or X, and he was just like, I love Ephesians Prysock. And I was like, no offense to anybody, but is that not the most Chiefs fan thing you've ever heard where it's like the best player in the draft is Ephesians Prysock from Washington? You know, like just some random, like I was cracking up. Like, yeah, that's going to make or break us, bro.
Do you remember the thing we got on where Brett Veach went through some kind of a weird thing where he started doing hyphenated last names?
Yeah.
Like he just got obsessed with hyphenated last names. People that didn't even have a hyphenated last name just started hyphenating it on purpose just so they'd get some playing time. So I'm surprised Ephesians Prysock, if he hyphenates to something different, he's probably on the team. 100%.
Mickey, next time we're in KC, if you meet us there from Vegas, we'll buy you some Zarda, brother. We'll just have lunch together.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to fly, but hey, if you wanna,
or
let's
just
do it.
A crazy road trip on that.
We'll go back to Vegas with you and spend a little bit of time. Let's go to the Strip, lose some money.
I want to go to the ball. What's that thing called?
The Sphere.
The Sphere.
We could also visit Arrowhead West. You know, out of respect.
Respects. Yeah.
Let's go. Let me look at this poll, Mike.
Steve TGZ says lurk alert. Says TGZ.
I knew TGZ was lurking in there.
A friend with it too. I don't know if we got this one. He said we have better trainers for Jordan Tyson.
Hey,
do you think that could work?
I said this earlier when I was talking about Caleb Banks. The Chiefs are not the type of team that shies away from injury guys. They're not. And sometimes it does bite them. Look what happened with Jalen Royals. Couldn't get him on the field. Go back to everyone thought they got a freaking steal by getting Justin Ross, as a UDFA because he was potentially a
Yeah.
third round pick. Couldn't get him healthy, couldn't keep him on the field. And then
Well, he did late, but he just couldn't get acclimated to the offense.
too little, too late, right?
Yeah.
He was just set back too much. And then you can even go to the Kadarius Toney, which I know a lot of that was mental. But Kadarius Toney, you thought you were getting kind of good value on him, a first round pick that we got in that trade, and ridiculous athleticism, but always hurt, always something going on with him. So
Yeah.
I mean, it can definitely bite you. But the Chiefs don't shy away from it. They really don't. I mean, and if you think about it, it's how they've really hit on some players too, like Trey Smith. He fell way down in the draft because of his medicals, and we took him, and look what he's doing. So I mean, it could go either way.
Dude,
Right?
I've ran it. So I've been trying to get my big board, I'm tweaking a little bit every day, week by week. Do you still think Mike Washington Jr. do you think he's above Jonah Coleman at this point or no?
I like him better.
Right now I have him sitting above Jonah Coleman.
I like him better.
And I've got him just below Jadarian Price. But I'm almost considering putting Mike Washington at number 2 over Price.
Mike, I've been wanting to do that.
I'm so close. So like
been
that's
wanting
really
to do
been bothering me is the Price,
Like,
Washington,
Mike-
Jonah Coleman,
Mike,
2, 3, 4.
you know, I've been on Mike Washington since way back. Like
Yeah.
when we first started talking about draft stuff, I was like, this kid running the ball for Arkansas is a monster.
I'm also having trouble here too. The more film I watch, there's a tackle that we were at their pro day the other day. He runs an outside zone. He is so athletic. I think he actually tested as one of the highest
The guy at
RAS
Illinois?
scores. No. One of the highest RAS scores that we've had in a long time at the tackle position. Monroe Freeling out of Georgia.
Dude, I'll tell you who he reminds me of.
His RAS, Steve, is a 9.99.
Yeah.
He is so athletic.
Who was that other kid from Georgia like 2 years ago?
Oh, you're talking about that big kid
Yeah,
that
that's who
couldn't
we were-
stay injured or
What was
couldn't stay
his
healthy.
name? Why is that? Somebody
don't
put that in the
remember his
chat.
name.
Somebody put that in the chat. What
But
was
dude,
that
he
dude's
is the
name?
second.
Dang it.
Monroe Freeling has come in with the second highest RAS score ever out of 1,548 tackles, dating all the way back to 1987. Dude, insane athleticism off this kid. And I've honestly moved him up to number 2. He has passed Lomu, Fano, Proctor, Yohanachor. I'm getting close to wanting to put him above Maui Noah. It's getting wild over here.
There it is. Big Chief got me. Amarius Mims.
Yeah, Amarius Mims.
That's
But
who he
Amarius
reminds
Mims
me of.
was a monster, though.
That's who he
Wasn't
reminds me of.
huge?
Just like, but it's just super athletic. Just a lot of upside. Yeah, that's what it
Mims,
reminds
when
me
he come out, though, he was let me see. Monroe Freeling, 6'7", 315. Mims was, good night, he was a monster. 6'8", 340.
of. Yeah, dude. But he reminds
Dude,
me.
25 pounds heavier.
Yeah, appreciate you, Big Chief.
Crazy, dude. But yeah,
Yeah,
Georgia
yeah.
puts out a lot of big guys. I mean, I was very impressed by Christian Miller. I was very impressed. Dude, that corner they got, Dalen Everett, that is a Chiefs corner written all over it. And if you remember, like, who was the guy that come out and got drafted just a few years ago to the Texans, and everybody said he was too slow, couldn't play, was going to get burned, and he ended up being so good for the Texans this past year. They just drafted him.
What position?
Georgia, DB. What is his name?
Big Chief will tell you in the chat. He got my back.
It was Kamari Lassiter.
Oh,
Remember
yeah,
they
yeah,
said Kamari Lassiter, he sucks. He's too slow. He ran 42nd
Tore us
pick
up.
overall, and he killed people. So I'm telling you, man, Georgia is well coached with those DBs. And it would not surprise me if Dalen Everett isn't a Chief guy, and maybe around pick 40. I almost struggled putting him over, a Honachor over him. But you don't want to take too many Georgia kids, but at the same time, the Eagles have been doing it. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really confused about something.
Mickey says Leo had a 999 RAS too, and the Chiefs wasted that guy.
I had to look this up because I thought I was right about this, but I saw this in the chat. First off, cheers, Lil Craze. Let's go. Out there he's in the Devil's Butthole of Denver out there.
Dude, I've always wanted to go to
Woo-hoo,
Denver.
enemy territory. No, I would like to visit Denver too, but I don't want to be around all them Broncos. But I saw this by Wink. He said Washington Jr. fumbles late in games, and I was like,
Right.
"What's he? Where are we getting this from?"
He does. He fumbles.
Okay, here's Mike Washington's stats, Mike, from this. Yeah,
He's had 7 fumbles in the past 2 years.
where do you see that?
He does put it on the ground.
It says
That's
0
in my notes.
on ESPN. It says he has 0 fumbles in college.
No, that's not right. He fumbled with New Mexico State. He fumbled with Arkansas a decent amount. Yeah,
Did
I've
he?
got him with 7 fumbles in the last 2 years.
Okay. Well, I was looking at that stat line, and I was like, it says 0.
Well, you can't trust ESPN.
Of course. Oh, Espen. Heck, dude, I don't even know.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you just search Mike Washington fumbles, it says dating back to New Mexico, he developed a reputation for ball security, recording 10 fumbles in his last 3 years, including 3 in 2025 with Arkansas.
Gotcha, wink.
So that is a major red flag with him for sure. Well, that's a lot of the reason. Like at first, he was outside of my top 5. Like he's fast. We all knew what he was going to run. I was telling people all year long, Steve, he was explosive. People were fighting me in the chat like he's not
He's a
explosive.
monster,
It's like
bro.
he runs a 4.33. I don't know how much more explosive you can get.
At his size, that is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it's
dude.
insane. So, I mean, but that is a thing. Like Jadarian Price. He fumbles a little bit, but it's not as much as Mike Washington Jr. And I know Jonah Coleman isn't like that either.
Ball
So-
security is something you can work on, though. Those intangibles he has is not something you can work on.
That's true. And that's why I
Yeah.
think some people might have him at 2. Some people might have him at 3. Some people could have him. Look, if you said Jonah Coleman and Katron Allen was higher on your board than Mike Washington Jr., I really wouldn't fight you too much.
Yeah.
But I do think he's top 5. I think he's above Emmett Johnson. That's where I'll draw the line. I don't think
Man,
Emmett
I meant to
Johnson's
bring
better
this
than
up earlier, and I forgot. It just slipped my mind. I just now saw it. If you're still in here, Peter Ortiz, he said he liked that Genesis Smith pick because that's his alma mater. He went to Arizona.
Arizona?
Do you still live in Arizona? I feel like you've told us this before, but I could be wrong. If you're still watching, Peter, let me know in the chat. I don't know why that slipped my mind. I saw it earlier, and I just thought of it. Mike, you like the Genesis Smith pick too, don't you? You're big on him.
Yeah, Genesis Smith's my number 4, just behind Downs, Thieneman, McNeil Warren. Genesis Smith's right there. I've got him as a top 60, top 75 player. I think he's good. I actually like the other kid that comes out of there, Traydon Stukes. I think he's going to be good too.
Wink says, I'm a Hogs fan. I like him, but he lost a game or two, but we sucked anyway. Okay, so you know all about that, Mike Washington.
The Hogs.
Dude, he is a monster, though. Like, all the tape I watched of him, kid could be special. Hang on to the ball, though.
I mean, he's good, but you do have to hang on. I mean, Andy Reid will sit your ass on the bench. We've seen that a few times.
Yeah, I mean, look at Carson Steele, which I think that was more for pass protection, but, I mean, after those 2 fumbles, you didn't see him no more.
I mean, that could be something. If you're looking for nitpicky things to not take people, I mean, that's a big one.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to have much more content coming your way here in this next month or so, which we always have a lot anyway, but there's going to be a lot of draft content coming up because we're about a month outside of the draft. And tonight was our first mock. I can go ahead and end that poll now. I'm sure everybody already voted on it, but tonight was our first. We normally do 3 of those. We'll kind of tweak it a little bit, and then we'll do a final one right before the draft just to see how close we can get to what the Chiefs do. But it's nice to start with something, tweak it a little bit, and then finalize it. It makes a lot more sense than just throwing one together. So I like that process. But we'll also do something that we do every year too, which is have a video or a live stream where we talk about draft sleepers, like people that no one's talking about that can make an impact. So that'll be fun too. But appreciate all you guys being here. It's been fun. I like talking with everybody about this kind of stuff. I like getting other people's opinions on everything. So it's been pretty cool. Do us a favor, hit that like button on the way out if you haven't already. That would be awesome. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you should do that. I ended the poll, Mike. I think you ended up winning by 1%. 51% or 2. 51
Really?
to 41, maybe. I don't know.
No, you got it. Steve 51, Mike 49.
Woo-hoo-hoo. It's because that Kenyon Sadiq, baby. That's what is Ephesians price hog is the reason.
You might be. It might be at Price Hog.
It could be. Hey, but we were right down the middle though, so I think we did good.
I honestly think out of both of them though, like your steal of that entire draft was Charles Demings. I don't think anybody's going to see it that way.
I like it.
But I think honestly for me, pick 40 Mike Sahanacher was a steal.
Yeah, I love
And
that.
I
kid
don't know
too.
if that's the one that's
If we
swaying
took
the
him,
poll
if we
or
took
anything.
him there, I would be happy.
It's insane. Yeah, I think that would be an insane pick.
Yeah, absolutely. But hit that like button on the way if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. All that fun stuff. If you'd like to join and be a member of the channel, we're going to have a members only live stream coming up here in the next week, where we're going to be giving away a signed Ashton Gelati jersey. He sent us over a nice little signed jersey. We're going to give it away to one of our members on the members only live stream. If you're not a member, you can go to join.allchiefedup.com and join, or you can hit that join button at the top. It's just $4.99 a month. And yeah, that's cheaper than a bag of chips. Just once a month, baby. Be a part of the crew, win some stuff, have a good time. You can also go to our merch store, check out some merch. It's merch.allchiefedup.com. Got hats, shirts, hoodies, mugs, you name it. It's on there. We're going to have much more coming that way. I'm getting ready to revamp the store a little bit, probably get a spring drop on there. So be on the lookout for that. And other than that, I guess that's all we got for today. Appreciate you. We'll see you next time. Go Chiefs.
Wow.